Hey friends, Chris Silverman. I've been working the past month on a sound booth for a good friend of mine, Serena Travis. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a little look on the outside of the booth. And I'm also going to step inside the booth where I give you 3 keys for motivation so you can have sort of a listen on the sound quality of the booth. And then I'm going to sit down with Serena and interview her and introduce you to her. She's a good friend of mine that I've worked with not only in her home doing handyman projects, but me and my wife Kimberly have also been able to be a part of some films with her and some other friends. And I just really believe in her. I believe in what she's doing and who she is and what she's all about. And so I hope you enjoy. All right, let's see how well I can guide you through this. The booth is not quite finished, but it's working. It's workable. So, for example, we need some carpet on this. No one's in the booth recording yet, so the light is not on. We have
It's a ventilation box.
Ventilation box. We got a ventilation box.
Yeah.
This is Serena.
Hey! It's a good day. It's a beautiful day here in Durham.
Check this out. So this ventilation box is the in, goes into the booth. This one on the ground goes out of the booth for great air circulation. So you can hear me talking right now, right? The way in which this works is you press the button, the light comes on, and then you step inside. It's gonna get dark. Alright my friends, we are live in the booth. So yeah, I get to borrow Serena's booth. So, as she's letting me get to borrow her booth, I want to share 3 keys to help you find motivation for your goals. Key number 1 is to remember. Remember why. If you understand your why, if you have clarity of purpose, why it is that you're going after what you're going after, I promise you, you will find that fuel. It will fuel you. You're going to find that motivation that you're looking for. The second key is to break down your work into smaller chunks. See, for example, I recently ran a half marathon. Now, that's a big goal for someone who's never run before. But if you break it down into smaller chunks that are more accessible to you or easier for you, you run 3 miles and then you gain up momentum to run 6 miles, and then you gain momentum to run 10, and then you gain more to run that final 13.1. And the third and final key I want to share with you guys is going to make whatever you're doing fun. Remember to have fun. Joy is your strength. Joy is the thing that's going to energize you. Have fun. I'm Chris Silverman. I'll see you guys in the next clip.
Okay.
Okay.
Da, 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 da.
Alright, hey guys, this is Serena Travis. This is the fantastic lady that I have been helping her on building her new sound booth that you have been viewing every so often. And it's an amazing project that I was able to get to do. And I want to share with you guys the couple of things that are important about audio, and the reason why audio is so important. I've heard it said that audio is 50% of your video, so if you got bad audio quality, then half of your movie is just going to be bad. So Serena, I was wanting to know, what are some good things that audio are for?
Well, audio is really important, like you said, Chris. So first of all, one thing that just comes to mind when you mention movies is that a lot of movies have ADR, or automated dialogue replacement, which means that after the whole movie's been shot, all the actors go back into a studio and they actually say their lines over again to the picture, because a lot of the times when you're making a movie, there's noises that happen that you don't want to have in the audio, and they want to drop in they end up dropping in those same sounds again so that it sounds realistic, but you can actually hear the actors say their dialogue. So that's one of the things that we would be able to do in that booth that you built, Chris, is to do ADR to the picture, to any picture, to a animated film. Like we could come and take a clip out of any movie and we could put your voice in there. Dude. So, I mean, that's one of the things that audio is so important, that there's an entire industry specific in movies that is geared toward making sure that what you hear is super clean, believable audio.
Nice. And you can tell the difference between in the booth. 3 keys to help you find motivation for your goals, and outside the booth. And what are some fun projects you've been able to work on before in the past? Yeah,
so speaking of like ADR, and so I do have another booth, and you've seen my other booth, Chris, and the only problem with that, it's a great booth, but the problem is it's not in a climate controlled environment. But this one that Chris built, we can have in AC, and that's great all year long. So in the other booth, we actually did ADR for a movie called Amazon Rising, and that's shows our friend Jungle Jen. She's going through the jungle, and there was a couple of scenes in there where you could not hear what she was saying, and so we actually in the booth had her say those lines over again, and then added the boat sounds in the background so it sounded realistic, but you could still hear. You can hear. Yeah, you can't even tell, because like we ran those lines over and over again. So that was an ADR project that I did in a booth. As far as like me personally doing a fun project, I did I was hired to pray. I was hired to read these prayers, and somebody was playing music along with me to those prayers as I was praying. It was so powerful and so anointed, because there was music. There was the words, the scripted words for the prayer were really beautiful, and that was a neat project. I mean, who gets paid to pray? I mean, the pastor does, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, think of that, like in the audio world, to get paid to do that. That was really special.
Nice. That's neat. That's so cool. It's inspiring, honestly. I heard you mentioning earlier that you were doing audiobooks. She has a couple audio people who are audio lineups. I know that if you have a book, it's super cool to have be able to listen to it as you're driving to work or you're at work, which I do that all the time, listen to podcasts and stuff. But I've actually listened to a couple of books through podcast, and that's something that you do too, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Podcasting, audiobooks, coaching. So like if you are feeling like, hey, I'd love to start to get into the world of voiceover, yeah, hook me up. I will hook you up. I mean, other way around. So yeah, there's a lot that can be done, and just think of anything where you've heard a voice, whether it's radio, podcast, whether it's e-learning. There's audiobooks, there's commercial, animation, phone message things, those message trees, dial 1, if, for the operator, press 0. Those are all people reading those scripts. So those, you can make money doing any of those things. It's amazing. It's a whole world out there for voiceover. So some of the books I've done, there's a range of books that I've done. They're all on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon and put Serena Travis, you'll see, 20-something books that I've voiced, narrated. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Well, I want to leave you some information. If you want to get in touch with her, if you have a book or if you have any kind of audio need, she's the audio lady. I'm
the audio mom.
Yes.
So yeah, if you want to contact me, you can send me an email, Serena, Serena, at serenatravis.com. Incidentally, I did buy the website audiomom.com. That takes you to serenatravis.com.
So good.
Audio Mom, yes. So, yes, send me an email. That's going to be the best way to get a hold of me. And I would love to work with you on your project. If you have a book that you've written, please take the time to reach out to those people who, I'm sure you've heard it, I don't have time to read, but they have time to listen to a book. Everybody has time to listen to something.
Yeah.
But some of us don't have that time to sit and look at a page maybe. So, yeah, definitely get your book in audio. There's also one more thing, Chris. When you voice a book, there is something that happens between you and your audience that's really special. There's an emotional connection that develops, and I'm sure you know that from listening to your favorite podcaster or your favorite narrator perhaps, or you've heard somebody and you hear that voice and you're like, oh, I know that voice. So there is something that amazing that happens through that. So I would encourage, if you haven't thought of trying voice, or if somebody said, oh, you should try voiceover, try it. It's amazing. And definitely get your book into the audio format.
Very cool. And you have samples on your website, is that right?
I do have a commercial demo. It's funny, I actually haven't taken the time to do an audiobook demo, which I should. Everybody should have demos of their work. So that'll happen sometime.
Nice.
Sometime when I have time. Yes, that'll happen.
I've actually been to her website and listened to a lot of her audio clips, and they're really cool. They're just really, you have to check them out. So
silly. Some of them are silly. Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for tuning in to who I am and what I'm about. I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks. Before fruits. That's what we're talking about. Says a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Matthew 7:18.